Previously on the First Watch.
I'm going to go to the body of Meken. Is he dead?
He is dead.
Can we find a way to talk to him, perhaps? Does anyone have this sort of magic?
I mean, I could do it,
Sikya?
just not today.
She bites out, and all of a sudden, you see materializing in her mouth the limp, unconscious form of some sort of creepy-looking little demon creature. You're able to decipher that this is some sort of a tiny fiend.
Do you want to go hunt something for dinner?
Yeah. Let's do
All
that.
right, let's do it. And I take Luna and we go without them noticing.
You don't notice them leave,
Okay.
and neither does Errivin. So the two of you stealth away. Sikya, as you work with Errivin to go through books, try to identify what this creature is, start to piece together some of these mysteries. Gamorg and Hyde, you head out into the wasteland to look for dinner. I would like you to roll a survival check with advantage, one of you, to try to find something and track it.
Gamorg, you've been here longer than I. Do you want to look, or do you want me to look?
Let me see what I can see. 18.
18. Okay. You go for a ways and you get yourselves out of some of the initial ruins. You can look and see that there's more ruins, out there on the horizon, so you're not like out of the city, but you get yourself to a portion where it's less densely like urban populated. You begin kind of quietly moving along, looking for tracks or whatnot. You don't see any tracks, but you do see these kind of like large, it's like 3 to 5 foot wide swaths, like almost like brushes in the dirt that kind of go for a little ways and then they let up, and go for a little ways longer and they let up. And you get the idea that you're not sure what this creature is, but there's something in that direction that is making these.
So it's just one, it's like a body of a snail type of thing, or is it 2 feet?
No, it's kind of like a body of a snail type of thing. It's like just a disturbed area. Almost
how
like a big
wide?
brush or tail. About anywhere from like 3 to 5 feet wide.
Okay.
Is the floor wet by chance? Is the ground?
It is not. It looks as if the like dirt and dust had just been displaced. Almost like someone dragged something through.
What do you think, Amar?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen this before, but I don't know what it is. But
I mean, it's not one of those 6-legged creatures that you're talking about. This is one big.
nah. Yeah, this is something else.
Are you up for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
I like the way you think. Let's go.
Okay. You begin tracking this creature. Eventually, you come to a part where the ground starts to create more mounds. It's a little less flat. There's more hills. Still made all of dirt. But seems to have a little bit more variance to the terrain. You also notice every once in a while there are these large holes in the ground that seem to go down into somewhere, almost like large tunnels. They're scattered, one here, one there, But you see 4 or 5 of them as you're kind of walking.
Before we continue, I grab him by the color of the armor and I tell him, Gamorg, if this is too much, we run. Do you understand?
Got it. That's usually my tactic, so
I remember that from your previous story, yeah.
it works.
Okay, good.
Okay, you continue to make your way into this kind of hilly area with the different holes in the sides of the hills and in the ground. I would like you to roll perception checks, please.
Better not be like 18 things.
11.
11, okay.
Give me a sec. I got a 17 and Luna got a 16.
Okay. You're going along, and you hear, you're not sure where it's coming from, but you all of a sudden hear this kind of echoey sound, like
That is something I don't like.
Yeah,
and you hear another
By
one.
the way,
they're moving.
is it the same one, like, or is it like 2 different
Hard to
areas?
tell. Hard to tell. It's pretty echoey right now.
Do you have a bow hide?
I do, and I take it out.
Yeah, same.
What are you doing? Are you staying put, kind of looking?
Yeah,
To see
just
if you can see where it's coming from?
I'm just waiting to see if something comes out.
So ahead of us, is it that landscape with holes and
Yep.
hills?
Well, you're in the middle of it. It's around you. It's behind you. It's on the sides.
Okay.
You're like in the middle of this area.
Okay, let's get out of the middle.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go to the outskirts of it.
yeah.
What is your kind of marching order? Like, how are you guys positioning yourselves with Luna and everything? Are you riding Luna? Are you walking single file? Like,
I think when we were in the middle, we were all kind of like facing out towards each other, so like each person covers a side.
Yep.
You know, probably me and Gamorg back to back, and then Luna off to
Yeah.
the side.
as you turn to make your way out, I need both Gamorg and Hyde to roll dexterity saving throws, please. As
This
from
is-
your blind side, you just see out of the peripheral a spurt of liquid, green and fizzing, coming flying towards your face. So, dex saves from both of you, please.
This is such a bad idea. We just got done with like a big boss fight, and we don't have any healers. Great.
12.
12, okay.
I got a 12 too.
Okay.
Oh, and Luna. Ooh, Luna.
Luna does not have to roll.
Great. That's good.
Luna, oops. She was not back to back, so she is not in the line of fire. So, you both take full damage, having failed your saving throws. You both take 13 points of acid damage as this spray of acid hits you and covers you both and begins to burn into your skin. You look in the direction where it came, and you see coming up out of one of these holes something centipede-like, but larger, bigger than you, about 3 to 5 feet wide, with many, many legs and this little tail thing that kind of drags behind it, long pinchers at the end that are clacking, and it begins to kind of rear up and come in your direction. Roll initiative.
We're getting the fudge out of there, man. Ooh, nice.
4.
23.
Okay.
Oh, and
No, Luna goes on your turn.
goes with me?
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Good morning.
4.
4. Okay. Hyde, you are up first. It's about 30 feet from you. Starting to advance. What would you like to do?
I look at Gamora and I say, run, now! And I start heading in the way we came.
Okay.
Heading back the way we came. With
All
Luna at my side.
Okay. So are you on
Actually-
Luna or?
No, I don't want to leave Gamora behind, so I'm running by Luna. Luna's ahead of me.
Okay, so Luna's faster. She's going to run ahead.
Yes.
You begin to sprint away. Gamorg, you turn to start sprinting, but you got caught on your heels with that poor initiative, and this creature is going to advance. It advances all the way up on you, impossibly fast, just all these little legs coming towards you. And it reaches out and attempts to bite you. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
That hits.
That does hit. Okay. You're going to take 6 points of slashing damage, plus an additional 3 points of acid damage as the pinchers bite into you, and just the residual acid that was on this creature from having spit at you burns into you even more. You are grappled by this creature. It has you it has you pinchered, and it is holding you tight as you are being held kind of by the torso, and you're feeling that acid burn deeper into you. It is your turn.
And the pincher thing's not a dex save or anything?
To escape it, it is a DC 13 grapple escape, but that's an action to do so.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so that would be athletics or acrobatics, DC 13.
Okay, yep. That is an 18.
Okay, so you reach down and immediately pull open the jaws and shove it back. You are no longer grappled. You still have your movement and bonus action.
I'm gonna run.
Okay, so you run away from it. It will get an attack of opportunity if you run from it.
That's fine.
Okay. So it's going to take another bite at you. That is a natural 19.
Hits.
So it grabs you again. You take 15 points total damage, one of that being acid, and you are grappled again. As you open its jaws and shove it away, and it just kind of pulls back, and then boom, rears forward towards you and snaps down on you as you turn to run. And you're kind of caught in it again. That'll bring us back to Hyde. Hyde, you ran, so you're 30 feet away at least. But you look over your shoulder to see if Gamorg is keeping up with you, and you see, just as he's beginning to run, this thing grab him from behind and bite into him.
Damn it. I call out to Luna and I say, Luna, come back! And then I take out my bow,
that way.
and I'm gonna shoot this thing in the face.
Okay. Currently, so I'm going to assume that you move to get a little bit of a better shot, because right now Gamorg's kind of right in your line of fire.
Yeah.
So would you like to flank left or right on it?
I'll flank right.
Okay, so you flank right to get a better angle, and you release an arrow. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Mm-hmm. 20 to hit.
A 20 does hit. Roll your damage.
Uh, 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay, very nicely done.
Just
You
wanna
sink an arrow into it.
get close.
Doesn't, I mean, it hurts it, but doesn't let go of Gamorg.
Okay. Is Luna close to... Does she get close
She
with
was
her
a little
movement?
ways ahead, so... And with your movement, did you, like, kind of move towards it as well? Like, trying to get back within range? So you had 30 feet of movement, so are you moving towards it and around it, or are you staying your distance and moving around it?
I'm moving towards it and around it a little
Okay,
bit.
so I'll say that you're, with the you know, the angling you're doing, you're probably still about 10 feet from it. Luna, having turned around, had to make the 10 feet back, plus she could get up to it if she wanted to, if she was going straight for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her just like, she's running, and then jumping towards it, and then grabbing it.
Okay,
And trying
so for
to-
your second attack, you're using her.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack from Luna.
Come on, baby.
Sikya, roll an investigation or arcana check as you go through books with Errivin.
Oh. Yes, we're having a grand time.
You guys are having tea, classical music playing.
Ooh, 23 for arcana.
Okay, we will come back to that. That is a very good arcana Keep that number.
Okay.
Hyde, what was Luna's attack?
I got 17 to hit.
17 does hit. Roll damage.
Okay. 6. 15.
15 points.
Yeah.
Damn. And then I believe if there's a check for her as well, correct?
That's right. DC 13 strength saving throw.
Okay.
Or be knocked prone.
Natural 17, so she does the creature does not go down with Luna trying to rip it, but does take a good sizable chunk of damage. There's like pieces, like a couple of the legs got ripped off, and pieces of its flesh are starting to get pulled out.
With my bonus action, I yell out to Gamork. I say, "Try to get out, but do not leave its area." And I knock another arrow, ready to shoot again.
Okay. That'll bring us to its turn. It has Gamorg in its jaws, and it can only bite you. So, first of all, we're going to see if it's poison. Passive attack. It does not. So it will take another bite at you with advantage since you are grappled.
Before you roll before you tell me what it is, I'm going to use one of my luck points to
make me re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay. It was going to be a 17, natural 17, and you brought it down to a natural 3.
Sweet.
So it will not hit. It rears back and goes to bite at you again. You're still grappled, it's still holding you, but it tries to like kind of give like a little bit of a chomp, and you like twist at the last minute, and like it clacks around you and holds you tight, but you don't take any additional damage. Like it did, like the little pinchers didn't pierce into you. You kind of like scooted out of the way.
Cool.
Well done. Good use of luck there. That is its turn. It'll slowly start to drag you back towards that hole that it came out of. It's gonna go maybe 5 feet away from you. It doesn't.
Does Luna get an attack of
She
opportunity?
would. It doesn't know any better than to move. Like it'll move about like 10 feet away, so she can get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. That's bad. That's a natural 2, so I doubt it hits. That's +5. That's 7. 7.
Nope, that misses. So she snaps, and it gets about 10 feet back away from Luna. So there's now 10 feet between Luna and the creature and Gamorg, and about 20 feet from you. But that does bring us to Gamorg's turn.
Okay. So I'm going to take out my scimitar.
Okay. Pull it out from behind you as you are being held by the torso.
And I'm just going to try to jab it down into its face.
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
You got this, baby.
1 second. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's 10 points of damage.
10 points. Nice.
And then
Good stab against it, and it kind of you hear this kind of like kind of guttural shrieking in pain.
I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
And that's not a good roll. So that's an 8.
8 misses. So you get it with the first one. You bring it out to try and stab again, but you kind of hit some of the tough armor, kind of shell-like armor on the outside, and your blade slips off of it.
Make sure there's nothing. Shoot, should have done that. Okay, cool.
All
Done.
right. Hide.
Okay. Would I be flanking with someone right now or no?
Actually, sorry, I just realized I have my action surge. Can I do that?
You do, yeah.
Can we
Use your
edit that
action
back
surge.
in? Okay. I'm going to use my action surge to do another attack.
Okay.
That's an 11.
11 misses, but when you take the attack action, you get 2 attacks.
Oh, wait. Yes. So I can do it again, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, action surge potentially gives you like 4 total attacks.
Oh, sweet. So I'm gonna do it again. That's a 12.
12 misses.
Dang.
Unfortunately. So you just keep stabbing at this thing, but you're starting to get out of breath, and can't quite find like soft purchase on it, just all the hard armor. So, hide.
I say, hang in there, Gamorg, and I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Maybe I'm 30 feet away from them right now.
You're 20 feet from it.
Okay. I'm gonna get like 10 feet closer. Okay. And I'm going. And when you're at a distance, you can't flank, right? It's only if you're melee.
Correct. It's only melee.
Okay. So I am going to shoot another arrow at its ugly face.
Okay.
That's 13 to hit.
13 just misses. So, ching! Arrow goes glancing off of the armor.
Okay. And with my second attack, I'm gonna instruct Luna to bite.
Okay.
Is she flanking with?
Gamorg is not a active threat against the creature because he is grappled, so flanking would not come into play here.
That's okay. She's gonna attack anyways. Come on. 14.
Just hits.
Great. 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. With that, Luna rips it and it cracks in half and goes falling down to the ground. And Gamorg, you hit the ground with it, but are able to pry the jaws off of you. Luna begins kind of biting in and chewing up little pieces of it, taking some of her spoil.
I'm gonna run towards her. Don't chew that.
She's already gulped a couple pieces. But it's still on the ground.
God. I'm gonna run over to Gamorg and I'm gonna give him a hug.
Oh, hey. Thanks.
That was close.
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
Are you sure you're all burnt in the face?
Yeah,
I'm
alright.
burnt in the face.
Kind of hurt, but that's alright.
I got really nervous.
Really?
Yeah, I said run. Didn't you see the panic in my face when I started running?
I did, yeah. I was gonna run too, but I just couldn't get away from it, so.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you were super cool about it and we figured it out. I thought we were gonna die.
No big deal.
100% I thought we were gonna die.
Hey, it's the wasteland. It's just the way it goes.
Wow, Matthew McConaughey over here.
Is that what they say over here? Is that a local saying?
That's what I say, because I've never heard anyone else here talk, so yeah, that's...
Well...
Nothing I talk to talks back, so...
Well, I do now. Come on. And I give him a fist bump.
Sweet.
Hey, we have dinner.
Exactly. This should be a pretty good meal.
Nice. Can we, between the both of us, can we carry like the two pieces that it broke in half in?
Yeah, like a good chunk of it at least. So the two of you begin to cart, and with Luna especially, like putting something on her back, you're able to get the whole thing. So you
and it's not like acidy, right? It's not like
the head
dripping
is. There's
acid.
like there's like acid dripping from the fangs and everything. So you might want to remove that section. But the body itself seems to be, interesting texture, but some sort of flesh underneath the kind of hard shell armor.
Just like crab legs.
Right. Can I try to remove one of its like claws or fangs or something to see if I can get anything?
Well, what do you mean by get anything?
like a poisonous tooth or something. I don't know.
Okay. I'll say roll a survival check on that.
Great time to get a bad roll. 11. You pull one of the big pinchers off, but it's not like full of poison or anything like that. It's hard. That kind of spills out to the side. You doubt that you're going to have anything that's like of use, but you do have a big old sharp pincher. You read about this in books. They say that you can make weapons out of things, but it's never worked out for me before.
Yeah. I'm going to use my second wind just in case anything else comes around. So I get 8 points back.
Awesome. As the two of you begin to gather the bits of this creature and head back to your little encampment. Sikya, you have been going through papers and journals with Errivin. And after about an hour of such digging and looking, you both come across a scroll that is very old. You have to be gentle with it as you open it up to not break it apart. It is brittle to the touch. And you begin to read something about a return. Something about an infection. Something about a spreading. It's an old version of an arcane language. You're not gathering every word. And it takes you a little bit of time before you start to realize it's written from first person. I will return. I will infect. I will spread. And you begin to get a strange feeling over you that what you're reading is incredibly old and incredibly dark. It's going to take some time to decipher everything in this scroll. Errivin begins working on it. But this is a potential lead.
And then we burst through the door with a giant centipede.
And then
it
they
open.
burst through the door with a giant centipede. Yes.
Well, hi, guys.
We brought dinner.
Was it much trouble?
Nah.
Yes, we almost died. But it's good. Right, Luna? She likes it.
Yeah, she already ate some, and she seems to be fine. So
I mean, she does eat everything. So it's not really a good gauge, but yeah. Thank you for getting dinner. Looks
well,
good.
we'll cook it, so it'll
Oh.
be better,
Yeah.
right? Do
Did
you know how to cook? I know how to cook.
I mean, you've been here for a while.
Yeah, I cook everything.
Yeah.
I eat.
You made us bacon.
Yeah,
That's true. I make a mean bacon.
it's good bacon.
And now you're gonna make crab legs.
Yes. Do I have any kind of
Deep fryer.
anything? I have a shovel. I could no.
Holding a shovel over the fire.
Yeah. Is there
Cooking
like
supplies
a
are in short order here in the wasteland.
yeah. So I
But
don't
basic-
have
use-
a basic fire and spit
yeah,
can be fashioned without too much
Yeah.
trouble.
we'll do that.
Did you all find anything while we were gone?
Oh, did we find anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, we found some, some dark stuff. We'll have to look into it more. There was something big happening here. And I think we're just kind of scratching the surface of what it all meant and why he came here.
Did you find anything about us coming back?
That we did not.
I'm already sick of this place.
It gets old pretty fast.
By the way, that heartbeat type of sensation,
Yep.
is that still happening or is that gone when we killed Meken?
When you killed Meken and stopped the casting of his spell that he was doing on the flesh golem, that stopped.
Okay. All right. Well, let's set up camp here. Maybe we can call this a home base and talk to Meken tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you, Gmorg, do you need something to cook this with?
Do you have something?
I could. I'm gonna pull out my paints, and I'm going to
Okay.
find a flat part of wall or rock or something, and I'm gonna paint a skillet
Okay.
and see what happens.
You paint a skillet and then reach and grab the handle, and there's a little bit of a kind of rock on rock sound, and a couple pieces of stone fall away, but you pull a simple but effective skillet out of the rock.
There you
Whoa. Can you do that with anything? Like, could you pull like a pizza out of there?
I don't know if I can make food that you could eat.
Pizza. What is this pizza that you talk about?
The thing that's now canon.
Siki,
It's really good. You have to try.
Siki, can you make a door, a big door, and when we open it, we're back home?
Yeah, just do the door to my house.
Yeah.
Can I do that? No.
You can paint a door.
I can paint a door, but it only goes to what's on the other side. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
We'll
a
keep
good
thinking
trick,
of
though.
ideas.
Yeah.
That's
That would be amazing if you could do that.
It would, yeah. That would be pretty cool.
Hey, but you just pulled a skillet out of thin air, so that's
There you
pretty
go.
Yeah, this is
impressive
great.
Yeah.
too.
this is what I wanted.
Dinner.
Thank you.
You are very impressive, Siki.
Thank you. Dinner and a weapon, Hang on to that.
Winner, winner, chicken
There
dinner.
you go. Don't know what chicken is, but yeah.
He has so many sayings. What is that saying you said when we killed the beast?
It's the wasteland.
It's the wasteland.
That's how it is.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's it.
That's how it is.
We should remember
I love
to
it.
tell this to a bard when we get back home. They can make an
love it.
awesome song about it.
I've written some songs. They're not good, but yeah. No.
Could you sing one over dinner?
Maybe we'll see.
Okay.
We'll hear one around the campfire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go cook this thing.
With your newfound skillet, you are able to very effectively cook up pieces of this large centipede-type creature. And it's fairly flavorless, but that's actually a pleasant surprise in the sense that it's not disgusting. Kind of almost has a little bit of like a fish, like a flavorless fish kind of texture to it. Not necessarily flavor, but texture to it.
We just need some melted butter.
Yes. After dinner, you all are able to bed down, make camp. Errivin is continuing to just tirelessly go through papers and look at things. He's looking at that same scroll that you found, Siki, looking at other papers, trying to cross-reference. So I assume you all are setting up camp and setting watches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Errivin is tucked away in a corner with a little bit of light that he's kind of conjured in order to give himself reading light. He accepted a little bit of food, but has been pretty unresponsive as far as any conversation or being parts of watch or anything. So between the three of you, how would you like to split watches up?
I'll take.
I can take
Me and Luna, everyone was gonna volunteer for the first one.
Oh, hey, what? I got the line. Who would like the first watch? Wow, that was.
I'll do it.
That was a dud. Everybody just looked at me like.
I was honestly waiting for everyone to start talking so we could all say it at the same time, and then no one started.
I'm cutting
We
that
can
crap
do it
out.
again. We can do it again.
No.
It's a bloopers thing, and it's
Fake
great.
now. It's fake now. All right. So
It's a
who's taking watches?
Me and Luna can take the first watch.
Okay.
Before I go on my watch, I'm gonna stop by Errivin, and I'll say, Errivin, thank you for all your diligent studying, but make sure to rest a little bit. We want you useful in the morning.
Right. Of course.
Okay. And I'm gonna sit down next to Luna and pet her as I look into the horizon.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Plus 4. Actually 6.
Okay. Your watch goes by without incident. It is quiet. There's a little bit of a breeze sometimes that you can hear whistling through the ruins. But on the whole, very uneventful, very still. It's still extremely eerie, not having any sound of birds or anything like that, or crickets even at nighttime. Who has second watch?
I can take it.
I'll do the last one.
Okay. Gamork, roll me a perception check, please.
Natural 20.
Wow. Back to back.
And that's why our show is called The First Watch. Because we're really good at watch.
Okay. That's exactly it. So your watch goes by. It's all the way dark when you wake up for your watch. From here, the night sky is actually quite beautiful. There are no trees to get in the way. As far as you can see every direction, it is a cloudless night, so you are seeing stars as bright and as big as you've ever seen them. And it is in the midst of a lot of horror and a lot of challenge. It is quite beautiful. Your watch comes to an end. Sikya, you have the last watch?
Yes.
Okay. Roll perception check for me.
Jeez.
If you roll a nat 20.
Perception, you said?
Perception.
Oh, wow. 19.
19?
Close.
Yeah.
So close. You are sitting, kind of hunkered up. Your thoughts go back home. They go back to Mama and Papa and Tiki. Think about younger adventures by the lake, lessons with Onan. But you keep a wary eye out. And about halfway through your watch, you hear and see a little bit of movement off to the left, past one of the buildings. Looks like Luna. Turn around. Luna's sleeping with Hyde. You look back. You don't see anything at the moment. What do you do?
What kind of ambient light is around? Like, is there a fire still going? Are there lanterns?
If you wanted to have kept the fire going, it would be very low.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Errivin has a tiny bit of light. He is still up. He has not gone to sleep yet. He has a tiny bit of light in the corner as he continues to read through things.
What is ahead of us? Is it just grass? Is it like sand? Is it
Not even grass. It's like dirt, like cracked, dry dirt.
Okay. Is Luna doing anything? Like, is she having any reaction?
She's asleep.
She's
She's asleep
okay.
at the moment.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Do I have to cast it on something? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, well, it's a dex save that makes it. So technically, you'd be casting it at a creature you see.
Can I grab a piece of the firewood from the fire and cast it on the piece of wood?
It's not going to catch, like, it's a radiant flame. It's kind of an otherworldly thing.
Okay.
You could take a piece of wood and kind of light it in the embers of the fire, the fireplace, and get yourself a little torch if you wanted.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that, and then I'll kind of go back to my post.
Okay.
Do I see anything again? Now that's a little bit brighter.
You wait and you watch and you listen, and the rest of the night goes by. The sun begins to come up in the dawn. Everyone gets the benefits of a long rest. Spell slots and health are back up, except for Errivin, who spent the entire night reading. And as you see him in the morning, he's still going over things at a little bit of a slower pace now. Deep bags under his eyes, kind of mumbling incoherently to himself as he reads.
Errivin, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. I have to find what we're looking for.
Do you need anything? Water? Meat?
Some breakfast would be wonderful, thank you.
Okay, I know a guy.
I can make breakfast. Let's see.
I'm sure we still have some leftover.
Oh, there's plenty of
Warm.
food from the night before left over.
Yeah.
You just gotta make it in a creative way. You know, last night was dinner, and now you have to make it different.
Can we say that I still have leftover bacon from what I
Sure.
made?
Sure.
So I'll fry up some bacon in my fancy new frying pan.
Okay. You prepare a little breakfast for everyone, bring Errivin a little plate. He thanks you and takes it and kind of shovels food in his mouth real quick before continuing to read, kind of continually wiping the sleep from his eyes and kind of going back to what he was doing. The morning is yours. You are replenished with your spells, and there is a deceased mage with potentially a lot of answers waiting for you.